What's happening, everybody? It's me, Robert Phoenix, your Astro Weatherman, bringing you the latest details in the outer and inner sky. Wow, I had a deep night's sleep last night. And, I'm still kind of waking up. How is everybody doing today? Let me have a little sip of coffee here. Cheers. Cheers to the coffee achievers. You remember the coffee achievers? Remember who one of the lead persons of the coffee achievers was David Bowie. David Bowie was a coffee achiever. Right now, I'm achieving some coffee. All right, let's do a quick check-in here today. Who's in his house? Brandy Herrera, 8:36 p.m. Checking in. Look at that. Jackie Delario. I wish I'd listened to Wednesday's Astro Weather before my meeting. This Sagittarian's Mercury was a bit too blunt. Several apologies. This is one of the reasons why you want to be here at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Because I got your back. I got your front. And I got your side. There is my man, DJ MC Michael Cisternino. For one night, I would love to be one of these NBA announcers. Now starting for your Kerrville Kerfluffins. Kabuki Theater, hey Bo. Julie Sunshine 333. Oh, look at this. Coming this month, Yacht Rock. A documentary. I like that. DOCK. Man, we were so yachted up. We were so yachted up a couple years ago. That was a time. That was a time. There she is, DJ Pebblestone. NYC, cold as fuck, but she loves it. We got pockets of preservation. TN. What's happening? POPTN. Oh no, you're here. You're good. It's 8 a.m. Let's see. Misbehaving to you. Scott Jersey. Janice Phillips. Moonsprout. Silk Trap. Christina Jersey. Lena Winkler. Nora Rashid. The Queen of Speed. Pedal to the metal. Tom Jordan. Orlando. They're all here. The stars of Chattaria. The great Christine Mose is with us. Moira's Bacon. All right. She's back. Pockets of preservation is back again. All right. Good to see you all. Sign up, become a member of Locals. Yes, indeed. Might just do a little hang on Locals this weekend. Maybe on Sunday. Might do a little Locals hang on Sunday. Let's see what else we have. Healing Heart Rosie's in the house. There she is, the lovely and talented one. Saving Austin one tooth at a time. Deborah R. reigning in the Florida Panhandle. Meow Meow Kitty Poop. Integrity and Karma's in the house today. Look at that. We got an all-star cast. It's still raining down in Panama, according to Lynn. Zarelith the Immortals with us. Cassandra Lynn. Kelly B made it to 42. Is it Kelly B's birthday? Robert looks groomed. Yes, Robert is groomed today. Robert took time out to groom himself. Unlike other scruffy mornings. All right, Kelly B, we will deliver a birthday song. looking sprightly today. Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. All right. Let's Kelly B, stick around. We got a birthday. Oh, by the way, speaking of birthdays, we got a new Chatarian. We have a new Chatarian. Let's do a shout out here. Come on, I gotta throw this picture up. I gotta throw this picture up. I gotta throw this picture up. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is so beautiful. So beautiful. Makes my heart hurt. Okay, hold on. Special day. Special day. Here we go. The latest Chatarian right there. There he is. There he is. Hank Stephen Thompson, born at 11:30 p.m. last night. And there's our dear friend Lee Guest, who has been a guest on the show. She is the singer-songwriter of the internet smash "Fuck Your Feelings," which was kind of a big deal on the internet. Lee's incredibly talented singer, songwriter, and prolific mom. This is baby number 3 for Lee. And if you have met Steve and Claire at our get-togethers here in the Hill Country in October, you know who Steve and Claire are, and maybe you've even met Lee. She came and performed at the event 3 years ago, 4 years ago. God, I think it might have been 4 years ago. And there we go. The latest Chatarian. He just doesn't know it yet. Huzzah. Kelly B, we got a birthday song coming for you. We got a birthday song coming for you. Just to wait. Wait just a little while. Okay. Man, Claire and Steve hit the freaking jackpot on the grandmother side of things. Oh, I think they're at number 6 now. The legacy lives on. All right. Hank. I love that thing. All right. That's where we are, boys and girls. The old Astro Weather. Moon in Taurus. A little bit different than yesterday, huh? We've got Venus slide in with a nice little trine to that moon in Taurus. Feels like a bit of a comfort day to me. Who was baking? Who was baking in chat? Today's a good bacon day. It's Awaken and Bacon Day. No, so it is. Today's one of those days. The weather's turning. Get in the kitchen. Make something yummy. Comfort. A little bit of comfort. We do have a Mars moon square. It's like, don't bother me, please. I'm baking. Don't bother me. Right? I mean, the moon will move on. So by the time we reach the evening hours here in this country and for you folks over in Europe and in other parts of the realm much later in your evening. That moon square will move on. We're kind of at the height of it right now, a little bit. Impatience. There's some impatience in the air with that Mars moon square. Venus moon trine. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. I need to bake. I need to take my time. Mars moon square. There's deadlines. Come on. Deadlines. Let's go. And then we have the moon Pluto square at the same time, digging in the heels. Damn well do it on my own time. So it's a very interesting transit here at this time of day. So this is kind of a lead-in or a segue to what we're going to talk about over on 15 minutes, which is some very disturbing trends that are emerging in a post-2024 Trump electoral victory. And I talked about this Mars-Pluto opposition. And I'm going to get into this story about this woman who, okay, if you get triggered, put your fingers in your air. I'm going to give you three count. It's a 3 count. 3, 2, 1. And if you're just watching, I will give you the thumbs up when I'm done. This is a story. It's incredibly grisly and disturbing about a woman, 33 years of age, who took an ice pick to her father. And it's pretty clear why she did that. She seems like she was fed up regarding anybody who might even resemble her father. It's a grisly tale. And it's part of that Mars-Pluto opposition. I'm going to get into that much more on 15 minutes. Okay, so if you're just watching, you have your fingers in your ear, you can take them out. So there is, I would say, over the next 5 to 6 hours, a much greater hint of violence. Now, we love the moon in Taurus. It's a beautiful place for the moon. It's exalted. It's lovely. It's curvy. It's Venus of Willendorfian. But it is fixed, and it does dig its heels in. And when you get this Pluto moon Mars square, look out, man. These are acts of aggression. Now, again, we have this Venus moon trine. There's a different way. There's a better way of doing things. Venus in Capricorn, it may not be always sexy, although it can be. Venus in Capricorn is interesting. Very interesting. It's like you don't normally think of Venus in Capricorn as being a good placement for Venus. But you know what's interesting about that is that when you look at Saturn in Libra, Saturn's exalted in Libra, right? You look at Saturn in the 7th house, it's accidentally exalted in the 7th house. Venus in Capricorn has some of those traits and tendencies. So even though it's not always looked at as being, oh, well, you've got Venus in Capricorn. That's okay. It's all right. Your relationships will get much better after the age of 40. There's something interesting about Venus in Capricorn, and it's staying power, right? It's staying power. And there is, I think, a high degree of loyalty with Venus in Capricorn. It's not an aspect of Venus that plays around a lot. You know what I mean? like it's kind of businessy. If you have a mate or partner that has Venus in Capricorn, or you have Venus in Capricorn, you should think about having a business with your partner and using that Venus to, build out another component of your relationship. Also, Capricorn is one of these planets that can be kind of signs rather. Capricorn is one of these signs that can kind of sneaky sexy. People don't always often think of like Virgo and Capricorn. Like Taurus, oh yeah, Taurus is sexy. Yeah, Taurus is sexy, right? Yeah, yes, it is. But the Earth signs can yield some very interesting dividends if you hang out with them a little bit. It's not as like hot as the fire signs, and it's not as kind of deep and poetic and intense and soulful and feeling as the water signs. But it is earthy, and there is especially with Venus and Capricorn, there can be an almost hidden sensuality with Venus and Capricorn. Once you get past the layers of permafrost with Venus and Capricorn, there are, I would say, more sensual and more earthy secrets that are kind of revealed in the relating. So I'm here to give Venus and Capricorn a little bit of a new coat of paint today. But we also have a Venus-Neptune square. So there's still a high degree of navigation going on. There's a lot of navigation happening. We talked about the Venus-Neptune square. If Venus and Capricorn says, get out there and stand on your own 2 feet. Come on, kid, you can do it. I walked 10 miles to school in the snow over hill and dale. And we did it again when we went home. But that's kind of Venus and Capricorn. It's not real sentimental. Today it squares Neptune. So what's weird about that, right? It's like Venus and Capricorn almost lets down its guard. It says, I let down my guard today. I won't be as critical and judgmental. It's not necessarily a bad strategy. Sometimes those Neptune squares can work out for you, right? It's like, you know what? I'll forgive this person. They didn't pay me back. They fucked me over, right? A rare Venus and Capricorn kind of moment. I'll forgive this person. The downside of that Neptune square is just in general, kind of letting the guard down, and being unaware of the fact that this is the other. We're saying with this Venus and Capricorn, it seems to be a big thing. The Venus and Capricorn also wants to ascend, right? It wants to move up. This is why if you're partnering with somebody who has Venus and Capricorn, or you have Venus and Capricorn, you want to ascend together, right? You want to walk up the pyramid together. So in the business world or in the work world, Venus and Capricorn is always looking to partner with people who have power and can help their ascent. And they'll be very helpful along the way, working long hours, staying like that's Venus and Capricorn. With the Neptune square, there's an element that undercuts a lot of that. And this is ethics, right? We want to get, especially with Venus and Capricorn, get that Neptune square, we're dealing with ethics and the lack thereof. So many of you who are watching this or listening to this, I have full faith and credit in you that your ethics are as finely tuned as they can be. Because I would assume that almost every single one of you has a relentless witness inside of you that says, what am I doing? Is this correct? Am I coming from a correct position here? Is this the right place for me to be putting my time, my energy, my emotion, my intention? Maybe I need to re-examine this, right? Maybe this is something that I need to make an adjustment. So this is when you get a Venus-Neptune square, if you have to make an adjustment, right? Like you can't. It's like, you know what? Maybe my approach was a little too rigorous here. Let me make a tweak, an adjustment with that Venus-Neptune square. But there are other people who won't, right? There are other people who are not as, that's what I'm looking for, introspective, or they're not as attuned to what's going on inside of them. And so when they do something, or when they make an alliance, or when they renege on a commitment, either in their personal lives or in business, they don't do that. They're not circumspect. They don't do that, right? And this Venus-Neptune square is a very interesting aspect because there are repercussions for not doing that. There are significant repercussions for not doing that. So the Venus-Neptune, especially Capricorn, it breaks trust. It can really break trust. So today, from a larger perspective, people are looking at the appointments of Trump, right? And Capricorn is about the government. And yes, I know Pluto is in the final days of Capricorn. Look at that, 2955. I'm going to miss it. You know, when Pluto went into Capricorn, it opposed my natal Mars in the 8th house. You talk about a holy shit period of my life. Oh boy, that was intense, man. That was intense. 2009 was one of the most intense years of my life. Can't begin to tell you all the things that happened to me during that. And I lived to tell the tale. Lived to tell the tale. 5150 in 2009. Lived to tell the tale. Saturn opposed Mars. Sometimes Capricorn placements can be very helpful. They're not always sexy, but you can endure and get through things. And that's part of the Venus story here. You know, the other side of this with Venus, this square with Neptune, don't let people undercut your achievement or success. Like you know, it's like you put in all the time, labor, effort, sweat, equity, right? And somebody else takes the credit. That's the Venus-Neptune square. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. In conjunct with Mars, right there. Let's pump the brakes on this. Like, whoa. Yeah, I was the one who actually suggested that. Yeah, I was the one who found that accounting error. Yeah, I was the one that made that sale. You didn't make that sale. Like, this is a really tricky territory, right? This is Venus-Neptune square. People wanting to take credit for the thing that you have gone out and done. And in Scorpio, it's very, you know, we're still in Scorpio. We haven't left Scorpio. You know, we're in the deep trenches of the psyche with Scorpio. People get desperate in Scorpio. It's like, I got to prove my worth. We got a Sun-Uranus opposition, and that's mounting. Oh, revolutionary, shocking. We might even be up for some Earth changes here. Keep your eye on quakes with this Sun-Uranus opposition. Keep your eye on crypto quakes, the cryptocurrency quake, the rumblings of the here comes the digital dollar. You'll be reading a lot about that. Man, there is so much going on with this chart. It's a ton happening with this chart. Mars Neptune trine. We're in a Mars Neptune trine phase. Not only would it be nice to do a little baking, but it's also very creative, especially in Leo. Mars Neptune trine, Leo. Come on, be creative, people. Get your creativity out. But again, with that in conjunct, don't let other people steal your shit. Don't let them do it. Don't let them get away with it. Don't go into the Venus Neptune square. Oh well, as long as we're successful. No. I'm here. I'm your advocate. Stand up for the things that you have invested in, worked on, and don't let anybody else take credit for it. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. Sun trine Saturn, Sun trine Neptune. I love this. I love the Sun trine Saturn. It's like digging in, endurance. You got a mid to long term commitment to something, right? It's coming out of it. It's like 22 to 12. We've been dealing with that trine for a while, which I think has been good for us. And then we have the sun coming into this trine with Neptune. Kill him with kindness. I'm sorry. I actually did that. You've been such a great help and benefit to everything that's gone on here. So grateful for your participation, but we accomplished it, but I was the one that initiated that. And I want to thank you for that. You were very helpful. I wouldn't say instrumental, but you were helpful. Yeah, Mercury and Sag, come on. Jackie Delario was talking about it. It's squaring Saturn, opposing Jupiter. We're still in that. Find the right words. Find the right words. Saturn Mercury squares are good for editing, right? It's like, let me cut this thing in half. Do I have to use all of this language? Can I get my point across in a way that is clear, concise, and yet gets to the heart of the matter? That's the upside of the Mercury-Saturn square. Again, the downside with that opposition with Jupiter, which is where we were yesterday, is the backlog of and getting it out, right? Take your time. When I used to do email, I'm sorry, I kind of abandoned email. I want to apologize for people that have sent me emails. I seriously want to apologize to everybody. And there are a lot of good people who send me emails, and I've probably missed a huge amount of opportunities. But I gave up on email. There was one day it just became overwhelming because I would sit there and I tend to make friends with people that Venus in the 11th house. So people would send me an email and I give them a very thoughtful response, right? Like a couple of paragraphs. And then somebody else would send me an email and I'd give them, and by the time it was done, I'm like 2 hours into my day. I'm not kidding you. I'm like, I can't handle this. I literally couldn't handle it. And it's like, it's the worst form of denial. But I kind of just walked away. So if you notice that if you purchase a reading, what do I tell people to do? Don't send me an email. Call me or text me, right? Like that's how I communicate. I communicate through phone or text. It's the most immediate way for me. And you know what the beautiful thing about text is? I can't write 3 or 4 paragraphs with my thumb. It forces me to respond in a thoughtful way, but not be overly verbose, which is what I was doing on email. So I apologize to people. If you send me an email and I haven't responded, it's not because I don't like you, or it's just because it got to be too much. It just got to be too much, and I just kind of walked away. And I started a different email account, which I do use to communicate with people directly. So anyway, that's just my stuff. All right. Let's get into the old star of the day here. Now we're way ahead of schedule. I mean, I can spend more time. I could totally spend more time. There's a lot here. If this was a client, this is a 2-hour read easily. To get into all of this, 2-hour read easily. All right. Do the banner. Here we go. And why don't we just load up? Let's load up on our star of the day here. And why don't we go there while we talk about True Hemp Science? All right. We're going to be talking about Joe McCarthy, but before we do, you know the drill. If you're new to the show, besides myself, Robert Phoenix at robertphoenix.com. If you want to get yourself a reading, you can go there. The other sponsor of the show, True Hemp Science. And all you got to do is go to their website, check out all of their fantastic CBD products. It's fantastic. And if you spend $100 or more, type in 15MINS. That's 15MINS, like 15 mins. And you will get a goodie bag. This is not the goodie bag. This is part of the goodie bag. And you will get a little sub order with your order. It's such a great deal. It's a great deal. And it's, again, it's like a compilation record. I used to buy those compilation records. Well, who's this artist? Who's this artist? Who's this artist? Oh, I like this. Let me go out and buy an album by them. And then you get the album, you go, well, that sucked. They got the only good track in that album. They put it on. They tricked me. But that's not how Chris works, by the way. You'll be pleasantly, I wouldn't even say surprised. You'll be pleasantly you'll pleasantly receive the benefits of CBD, especially the gummies. The gummies are your friend. They are your friend, whether it's going to sleep or using the gummies during the daytime hours to help you navigate reality. It's worth the price of admission. $150 more gets you a free shipping, and there's always a 30-day money-back guarantee. All right, let's get on with Joe McCarthy. You know, it's interesting. We just looked at a highly complex chart, and Joe McCarthy is an embodiment of this highly complex chart. I could probably spend a couple hours on the chart and 3 hours on Joe McCarthy, the junior senator from Wisconsin, born in 1908. 1908. And he really hits his stride right around 1952, 53, 54. And McCarthy, of course, is famous as being the chairman of the Committee of Un-American Activities. And he's going after communists. And in a lot of ways, McCarthy was set up. It's a very, very complex and entangled tale. One of the lead prosecutors, one of the lead counsels for Joe McCarthy was Roy Cohn. And Roy Cohn was one of Donald Trump's mentors. Donald Trump used to call Roy Cohn 4 or 5 times a day to ask him about things. So Roy Cohn is this very interesting figure in American politics. So he's kind of the hidden hand of McCarthy. And McCarthy starts to go after commies. And he says they're in the US government. And he also goes after commies in Hollywood. But it starts off with the US government and one individual in particular, Alger Hiss. Richard Nixon was also a part of this committee. And eventually, McCarthy is tarred, feathered, and smeared. And he winds up becoming a very tragic figure in American history. And also is associated with the Red Scare. And from that moment forward, once they dismantle Joe McCarthy, commenting, criticizing, and claiming that communists have infiltrated the media in the US government becomes very uncool. Right? It's like, oh, yeah, you're one of you. Yeah, you like there's a red under every bed. Ha ha ha. Like this is the beginning of the shouting down of the conspiracy theorist. McCarthyism, or Joe McCarthy and his committee, are the tip of the spear for the conspiracy. Conspiracy being the infiltration of all these different institutions of communist influence. All right, let's take a look at this chart. Aries rising. Yeah, he's one of these people. He's going to be dauntless, right? He's going to be fearless. He's going to throw himself into the fray. It's also very interesting that the color that's associated with Aries is red. In what did they call communism? The red threat, right? He's got Saturn in Aries in the 12th house. So what is he doing? He's hunkering down with that Saturn. You know, theoretically, he is going to root it out. He's got that Pluto-Saturn square, and he's got Pluto in the 3rd house, and it's in Gemini, and he's got that true node conjunct Pluto in Gemini. Like this guy wants to get to the bowels of this infiltration. Now, McCarthy has some weird skeletons in the closet. I was chatting with my guy Lyle Coyote a little briefly on Twitter the other day, and he was talking about how McCarthy was also a closet homosexual. A lot of people have those tendencies and traits, especially in government. And you know, you could kind of see some of that, right? You could kind of see a little bit of that in the chart. You know, you've got this the Mars and Libra going on. Not everybody in Mars and Libra has that, but it's more about like what's hidden. You know, it's that Saturn. It's that Saturn-Venus opposition, right? It's Saturn squaring Pluto. It's the dark secrets that are in Joe McCarthy's chart. But he's also willing to root out those dark secrets. And this Pluto in Gemini in the 3rd house, I mean, look the fuck out. And I've watched this video today. It's an old, I highly recommend it. If I have time, I might even play it. But it's a 25-minute video clip. It's a film. It was like they didn't really capture video back then. They had kinescope. So it is a filmed copy of a kinescope. And Edward R. Murrow was one of the attack dogs for the, let's call it the Communist Front. And Murrow went after McCarthy in a big way. And they gave McCarthy an opportunity to reply to Murrow's accusations. And what comes out of McCarthy's mouth is mind-blowing. Like he's able to, now they give him an opportunity to respond. So America is listening to Joe McCarthy, And he's able to link Murrow up as being a communist sympathizer and influence. It's like, whoa, I bet you didn't think that was going to happen. And much to the credit, or maybe the machinations to discredit Joe McCarthy, they played this. Anyway, he's got this Pluto-Saturn square. And, it's like he's going to get to the bottom of the fucking thing, especially with Pluto in the third house. And that true node, it's like that's what he's supposed to do. And when you look at Gemini, you're dealing with double agency. And I said that there are two signs that are the best for spycraft. It's Gemini and Scorpio, right? And what is McCarthy? He's got this sun in Scorpio. He's got this Pluto and true node in Gemini. Is he a spy? No. He's like a spy hunter. Mars in Libra. Mars in Libra needs a cause. He found his cause, right? He found his cause. And what is Mars doing? Trining Pluto. Chiron in Aquarius. And look at that Chiron. It's in the 11th house. Joe McCarthy is doing this as television is evolving. So this is moving beyond the radio, right? And especially when you get into the coverage of the Committee of Un-American Activities, that's on TV, right? They are playing this. There is tons of footage if you are interested. This is all 11th house stuff. And he is willing to stand out with Chiron in the 11th house. And even with Uranus up here, Uranus on the midheaven, right? Again, it's multimedia and it's shocking. So he's got, the guy is wired to do this, but he is also wired to have some skellies in the closet. Venus square Neptune. We were just talking about Venus square Neptune, weren't we? Right? We were talking about betrayal. It's like we're talking about Venus square Saturn. But Venus square Neptune is in the, it's like, yeah, I'll let my guard down. We were talking about it. Yeah, I'll let my guard down. I'll let my guard down. So McCarthy experiences that betrayal, but he also has some skellies in the closet. Mars Neptune square. There's a part of Joe McCarthy. People are complex, right? They're complex. He could be kind of fearless and get after it, and he's got his cause, but he also is weak. McCarthy's one of these guys that is both simultaneously strong and weak. Like, he is the epitome of paradox. And it's that Mars-Neptune square where it gets into sort of this weird underbelly about maybe his, how he expresses himself sexually, right? Look at this. He's got Mercury in Scorpio. Where's it going? Right down there under Pluto. Even though Pluto's in a different sign or a different element, mathematically, they're there. 7 degrees, Mercury in Scorpio, trine Pluto, this is a guy that was wired for what he did. And what happened to him was a huge disservice. A huge disservice. They set him up and then they brought him down. And then it's kind of like they gave the American people a few scapegoats, mostly in entertainment. You get Alger Hiss, they nail him. They don't nail him without Richard Nixon, by the way. But they give people some scapegoats. Paul Robeson. Well, he's a good scapegoat. Not only is he a commie, but he's black, right? And then you have some screenwriters. Sean Penn's father, by the way, one of those guys. And who else? There's quite a few of them. But so you have these guys that are rooted out of Hollywood. Now, they all eventually come back. Eventually. They let them back into the backboard. They start to write scripts under different names. And I talked about the movie The Magnificent Seven. It's written, if you've ever watched The Magnificent Seven, it is not the movie that you think it is. Now, it's based on the Seven Samurai, which is not influenced by communism. The Magnificent Seven kind of is, when you think about it. When you get into it, and I've gotten into it, and the guy who wrote the script, pulling from the Seven Samurai, was able to turn it into a social justice film. Because in the Seven Samurai, Toshiro Mifune and his samurai buddies, they help out a group of people who get their rice stolen, by these warlords, right? Now, the difference between the Seven Samurai and the Magnificent Seven is that the people that they're helping out also happen to be Japanese. They're just helping out people that are poorer, right? In the Magnificent Seven, Yul Brynner, Steve McQueen, James Coburn, the cast. Who do they help out? They help out poor Mexicans on the other side of the border, right? It's not like poor Americans who are getting raided by rich Americans. No, it's poor Mexicans. Like, so there's this underclass, like it's a subtle change, but it's a significant change. So the Magnificent Seven, written by one of the guys that McCarthy outs, comes back anyway. But he's set up, right? It's like, we'll show you a few commies. We'll show you a few reds. And then we'll be done with it. We'll discredit him. And so when this is brought up again, if you bring it up, they'll attach you to Joe McCarthy. And, well, Joe McCarthy shamed the shit out of Americans. So why would you want to be associated with Joe McCarthy? Right? Why would you want to be associated with Joe McCarthy? Oh, I'm not going to talk about that commie stuff. That is so uncool. A very pivotal moment in American history. And this guy was onto something, and he was hardwired to do it. But at the same time, he also had these vulnerabilities, these back doors. He was also an alcoholic. That Mars-Neptune square addictions, right? We've talked about that before. Jupiter-Uranus trine. Look at that. Right? This guy is outside the box. He's got a very interesting chart. It is not an easy chart. Moon and Leo, don't think he didn't like the spotlight. He did. He likes spotlight. Also, the Moon and Leo can be quite courageous. Mercury Moon square. He didn't care. Like, that's like, talk about fuck your feelings. Mercury Moon square, Mercury and Scorpio, Moon and Leo. Big time fuck your feelings. All right. Check. I'm not going to play the. You should just check it out. Joe McCarthy, Edward R. Murrow. Check it out. Watch it. It's 25 minutes. It's mind blowing. He gets a few things wrong. Not about Edward R. Murrow, but he gets a few things wrong. I'm not going to get into it. All right. Let's do a birthday song. All right, let's see. What would be a good birthday song for Kelly B? All right, let's do this. For Kelly B and Hank. Here we go. I'm getting pirate birthday vibes. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting pirate birthday vibes. Let's see. Right here. All right, here we go. Pirate birthday vibes for Kelly B. I've never heard this before. Let me put my earbuds in. For Kelly B and Hank. Pirate birthday vibes. Here we go.
Have a happy birthday, your cake we hope to share, but don't expect a present, we're pirates, we don't care. We know you're getting older, you're probably gonna die, because your birthday candles light up the nighttime sky. So have a happy birthday, your cake we hope to share, but don't expect a present, we're pirates, we don't care.
Presents give you joy, your old joys give you pain. Your friends don't give a damn, so go and get a cane.
So have a happy birthday, your cake we hope to share, but don't expect a present, we're pirates, we don't care.
Your eyes are weak and so's your back, your hands and knees, they shake. But that's okay, you'll probably choke on a bite of birthday cake.
So have a happy birthday, your cake we hope to share, but don't expect a present, we're pirates, we don't care.
Have some wine, a cup of grog, a beer that's cold and tall. Enjoy 'em now, for it's too late, 'cause next it's Geritol.
So have a happy birthday, your cake we hope to share, but don't expect a present, we're pirates, we don't care.
So let's go have a party, but just be home by 9. We'd hate to have to send you off in a long cold box of pine.
So have a happy birthday, your cake we hope to share, but don't expect a present, we're pirates, we don't care.
So let's all sing the birthday song, sing if you get the urge, 'cause soon you won't be singing when it's a funeral dirge.
So have a happy birthday, your cake we hope to share, but don't expect a present, we're pirates, we don't care.
That is worth YouTube alone right there. The Bilge Pumps. I guess they do a bunch of pirate songs. Anyway, welcome to the world, Hank, Kelly B. Have a great day. And that extends to the rest of you. Treat each other well. And we'll see you over in 15 minutes. God bless.